I was just having all these symptoms. I was really tired. I had all this pain. I was having constant headaches and migraines, and I just knew something was wrong. So I just started seeing these different doctors, and I went to several doctors. And they thought I had maybe carpal tunnel and just, different things. And finally I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. So, I asked, what can I do about it? And basically they said, it doesn't have a cure. I was put on sleeping pills and muscle relaxers, painkillers, and it was just basically they told me to stop living life. They said there was nothing I could do about it, just basically told me to give up on life. And I just decided I was just going to continue going on and to see how much more I could take. And I was on my painkillers, on my muscle relaxers, trying to take sleeping pills to get a good rest, but none of it worked. I had really bad nights. I lost dreams. It was just pitch black. I had a hard time sleeping if I slept at all. I saw several doctors. They thought maybe it was nerves or something like that, and I went into therapy, rehabilitation, things, just different things like that. And then finally, I went to a rheumatologist. They said come back once, I don't know, maybe it was once a month, every 2 months for a cortisone shot for the pain, which I got in my arm. Because at the time I was playing piano and viola. I started taking viola lessons, so it was really uncomfortable for me to play. I was in pain all the time. So that's why, I got serious about looking for a treatment and things like that. I really didn't know it was all connected with the fatigue and all of this, but the rheumatologist told me that it was this thing called fibromyalgia, and basically there was no cure for it. That's basically when I knew what I had. I just thought, okay, I have fibromyalgia, I have this, and I was actually living in Guatemala at the time. I grew up there. So then I decided to come to school. So I moved back to LA. Well, I was out here in the desert first with my grandmother. Came down here before heading off to school, and it was just really bad. There's just days where I couldn't get out of bed, and I had these migraines that just I would just black out. I would just have to stay in bed. I couldn't do anything. And my grandma started to worry. This is the first time that she probably actually saw me, with my condition and everything. And she was just like, well, there has to be some kind of solution. And I was like, well, the doctor said there's nothing you can do, And by that time I stopped taking the painkillers and stuff like that, because I just couldn't function. I just rather deal with the pain and stay in bed, because they really didn't do much anyways. And she found an article in the paper about this talk on fibromyalgia, and it was just some kind of new therapy that was out there. And she suggested we go have a look, and I was like, yeah, no. And she's like, please do it for me. And so I did go, but I really wasn't hopeful. I just thought, well, more medicine and stuff. And then that's how I came upon Dr. FELD. I didn't expect what I went to, go see. It was something, a total different approach. And then he just started talking about all these symptoms and how it was related to TMJ. And then I started thinking, wow, that sounds like me, and I always noticed something was kind of different about my jaw, and I didn't have much movement. I couldn't open my mouth much, and had some popping noises and all this stuff. And I'm like, that's related to all my muscle pains and me being tired and migraines. And I'm like, well, this makes sense, and it's different. I wasn't going to be put on painkillers and all this, all this stuff. So that's when, we talked about it with my grandmother, and we thought, well, you know what, maybe this is it. Let's give it a try. Yeah, dentist, right. The thing that really helped was Dr. FELD. He was really graphic. He actually showed pictures and diagrams, and explained how it was all related. So that was really eye-opening. I go to music school and I sing, so that's when I was paying special attention to my jaw and just my behavior, and I realized that there was definitely a problem even before. I said, I thought, even if it's not related, there is something going on. So I had the test done, and I started think I started like February. That's when I started getting the treatment. They put this plastic thing in my mouth that fit around my teeth, one for the day and one for the night, and that's it. That's basically it. But it changed everything. You know, slowly, you know, this pain I was having in my back started going away. I started sleeping. I have vivid dreams now. I can get rest. I don't wake up in the middle of the night choking, gasping for air. Migraines, I've been migraine free for about 3 months now. No headaches. I can open up my jaw way more than before. I started off like at 33 millimeters or something like that, and now I'm up to 57 millimeters. Yep, pretty good stuff. You know, I don't hear all this popping and clicking anymore, and no medicine whatsoever. I no longer take any medication for pain, nothing. I'm like medicine drug free. It's been about, what, 4 months now? Yeah, which is not that long considering everything I've been through, but no, everything's changed tremendously. I mean, even my moods and stuff like that, I'm a lot happier to not be able to go out there and do normal stuff. It's annoying, you know, just being able to wake up and go to school like a normal person and getting a good night's sleep, you know, and now sometimes because I'm so busy, I only get about 5 hours sleep, but I still feel, you know, rested. So it's awesome. My fibromyalgia does not exist anymore, I would say. I didn't, you know, it's gone. I've heard people say there's no such thing as fibromyalgia. Now I understand why. You know, it's totally, you know, made up stuff by doctors who don't know what they're talking about, basically. He just, you know, what really got to me is he really understood. You know, he really understood me. He understood what I was going through. Like he could tell immediately that I wasn't sleeping. You know, I just had these huge dark circles under my eyes, and he basically described my lifestyle without even knowing me. And you know, and already it seemed like he knew me, but he's been there. He's done his magic. Yeah, stuff is amazing. I love them. They really they all treat me so well, and they know who I am too. You know, they come in and they're like, hey, you know, you're looking better. I remember when you first came in, and you know, they're really concerned about you. Of course, they don't mind. It's kind of gross. Yeah, this is my second appliance. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, that's it. And I sing with it too. Yeah, it takes a little use to. You have to get used to it first, but yeah, it's in there. Changed my life. That little plastic thing, that's what I call it, but it does wonders.